Hi, my name is Keith and I'm known as the Florida Stone Man, and today I'm going to be teaching you all about how to monitor anger. And I talked about the voice yesterday, and this topic goes very hand in hand with what I'm teaching today. This is one of those topics where I'm going to say easier said than done, but this is seriously going to help a lot of you. Everything starts with the mind. The mind controls the body. The mind controls the emotions, the energy, the entities invited, the entities sent out, etc. So you connect your mind plus your word plus your voice, and you have something we encounter every single day. Now in this video, like I said, a lot of easier said than done. If you are someone who has a tendency to lash out at people or be angry, this video is going to help you a lot. If you know someone like that, this video is going to help you a lot because you'll be able to help them and address someone like them. So let's start off like this. When a chakra gets imbalanced, contrary to what online teaches that when you have one balanced chakra and one unbalanced chakra, that all the other chakras might be balanced. Usually when you have one chakra unbalanced, there's a whole bunch unbalanced. I should make a video talking about how chakras get imbalanced and how they become balanced, but it happens relatively quickly. So you can have a whole set of chakras and people are like, well, I got my chakras read last year. I'm like, okay, I don't want to break the news to you, but chakras balanced means it could be a half second of just like you finding something out, like, oh, good, and you're balanced again, even though there's imbalances underlying, but active imbalances indicate that just one chakra was off, other chakra becomes off, other chakra becomes off, other chakra becomes off, other chakra becomes, like, it's just, the chakras work like a tree system. Like, there are people like, what's a chakra? Because I've seen some of my comments, people like, Stone Man, what dat? So a chakra is an energy center. Basically, it spins and has energy to it. So if the spinning is off, or if there's something affecting the spinning, then you're going to feel it and it's going to feel very off. Your body works together in just different parts to become one large part. And we see that in science and in physicality. Now, and this is really cool. So when it comes to anger, it has a lot to do with the root chakra, with fight or flight. So then we have the sacral chakra, which is just how your passions are stored, your emotions with the sacral chakra and the solar plexus chakra, how you feel, how you distribute energies, what you do under certain circumstances, how you feel when things are present versus not present. Now we have the heart chakra, balances of receiving and giving. We have the throat chakra, which is a very imbalanced chakra when people are yelling and screaming, but with the throat chakra, it embodies giving and receiving as well, because there's a yin-yang to that, but it's more so in the aspects of your truth, and speaking and communicating clearly and being heard. Your ear chakras relate to the throat chakra. That's why clairaudience is the throat chakra. Your third eye chakra has to do with intuition, knowledge, what you're seeing. It's all about seeing, and then the crown chakra is about knowing. People think that when they have an imbalance, it's usually just one chakra becoming off balance. Normally, just think about chakras like a tree. It's a giant tree, and the roots get poisoned, the water's bad, it starts going up the trunk, and it affects the head. So if you ever think about it, when you're in an argument or when things start getting crazy, you're holding your ground for a second. It might be tough. Some of you just don't have any chill, and like, you're not holding your ground at all. But then you just explode. Versus some of you, it takes a while. It takes a long time. Because for those who kind of take a long time to get angry or frustrated, and not angry, because angry is not good. Angry is never good. There's nothing. I made a video about the karma of anger. But if it takes you a very long time because you're a very balanced person to get upset, it's going to happen because we're humans. And it happens to all of us. No human can say, I was never angry. Ever. Like, well, I just don't feel this human emotion. Well, you might be subhuman at that point. Well, even subhumans, yeah, which I'm not going to be talking about on this video, but even non-humans can get angry. Angels have their own version of angry, but it's not angry in the sense of wrath. I mean, it's more so in the sense of wrath and trying to help versus in frustration versus, hey, I'm mean and I'm angry. No. So angels don't ever truly get angry. They can get frustrated with a person, but never angry like that. So We're all prone to some kind of emotions of frustration, but it depends on how we get those out. The biggest thing in the entire world is coming up with a system, because it's gonna happen in this life. If it doesn't happen often, it can still happen. So you deal with those emotions, you deal with those problems just by coming up with different mechanisms. Okay, in case this happens, what do I do? You follow steps A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, because if you follow no steps at all, those are the steps. No steps equals the wrong steps. It leads to falling down steps. So just ahead of time, you should come up with certain mechanisms. So when this happens, and some of you might have family that you've clashed with, or friends you've clashed with, anyone. People have neighbors, employees, people in school, etc. that you clash with. You have to know when to keep quiet. And like I said, keeping quiet alone can hurt. But at the time being, if lashing out is more not beneficial than it is beneficial, then you would keep it inside you and be like, you can't just keep it inside. Then you would go home and work on it. So a lot of people will lose track of what they do when they get frustrated, upset, or angry, and they'll just start swearing, yelling, and screaming, which that's exactly what it goes downhill. Because the second you tap into those emotions of just unresolved energies is when everything just goes nuts and cuckoo and cocoa. So you just have to learn how to turn off a switch in your mind that says to act and just think. Just remind yourself everything's okay. Most importantly, ask God for help and expect the help, because he's going to help when you ask for the help. And just remain as calm as you can. Things you want to say, you'll keep inside, you'll work on it and shadow work, but you don't lash out, you don't yell, you don't scream, you don't ruin relationships that will last for your entire life. Because think about it like this. Sometimes people want to say something in an argument because it feels good to get it out, but those words are out there and they'll follow you till death. You can't erase words. You can't erase actions either. And words usually lead to actions. So really bad words that you've been wanting to say and they come out in an argument, fight, etc. Even if you're just by yourself. Like if you're yelling, screaming, and swearing, the more you swear, the more troublesome circumstances you'll attract later that day or the next day, unfortunately. So I'm not going to say any of the swear words, but if you're someone who swears, you accidentally call a certain set of entities to you. So lower level entities, dark entities, etc., they know those words. They're like, oh, I've heard my word. And they'll go over just to watch what's going on. Kind of like in, let's make this a little more juvenile. So like people in middle school and high school, if they hear a bunch of swearing down the hallway, a lot of kids will try to leave the classroom and kind of peek into the classroom. Same thing with dark entities. So when you start swearing, you're attracting certain beings to you. That will kind of add fuel to the fire. And they'll really want to egg you on. Unfortunately. So even not swearing when it comes to if you have to say fudge, and it's really tough as humans, and this video is more for the context of for you to be more conscious of it, versus you're not gonna be able to do this every single time, but due to this video, or even if you know someone who acts out of anger or emotion, just give that person space, because the last thing they need is ammo. Some people know what I meant by that. Some people do know what I meant. So if that person's emotional on their own, and this is outside yourself, so if you're not the one getting angry, so if someone's being completely emotional, give them space, because their shadows are spilling out versus them working on the shadows later on, and those can become your shadows, and your shadows can spill out, and that's just a big shadowy mess. And that's why it's really dark when people start arguing and yelling and screaming and fighting. Is that what this video is about? Not necessarily. This video is more about you being able to be ready for this in your life. Because you can have 100 good days, but with that one bad day, it feels like, why did I have that bad day? Like what happened? Sometimes just being a human and just whatever astrological weather is going on in your calendar happening can just indicate just certain fights, certain disagreements, certain arguments, certain just blowouts, and you're like, where'd that come from? Like, how did that even happen? Like, this is not me. This doesn't ever happen. So you have to have mechanisms as to when that pops up, because life, you have to be diverse. So certain crystals you'd work with, of course, is amethyst to help you stay calm, rose quartz to help you keep your cool, very importantly, and you can get these from floridastoneman.com. Okay, smoky quartz is an anger absorber. Put that over your chest or wear it, especially as a necklace, from floridastoneman.com. And that crystal vacuums anger out of you. Like, that's the go-to crystal for anger. Now you can use, I would not use Black Obsidian. Black Obsidian will make you even more angry. It'll make you want to cry, and then you'll kind of get burnt out, like literally burnt out. But it'll get everything out. Black Obsidian's not fun. Black Tourmaline's very good because it keeps dark entities off of you from being your enemy, your own worst enemy. And Obsidian will stop you from being your own worst enemy, but you don't use it in a time that you actually need it the most, which is when you're angry. So use Rose Quartz, Smoky Quartz, and there's a whole bunch of other good crystals. Amethyst is really good. Now, silence is golden when it comes to bad emotions popping up. And then you start... It's good to communicate these with people. Just be careful how you communicate it with them. So if you're angry and just want to yell and scream and stuff like that, your voice and your word can really come back against you for a while. If it's short term and you just feel guilty afterwards, the guilt can even come back to you. Like, well, I wish I didn't say those things. But it's okay. Just acknowledge that you're human and things happen. And if you didn't say anything too bad, then don't be guilty about it. Just move on and learn. And you'll become a better person for it. So, and this is like, even if you're around people who, because you'll be out in public, in this day and age, people are starting to flip out. That's because the vibration of the world is changing, which I've talked about in past videos. And it's becoming a lot more obvious. So you'll notice a lot more angry people these days, and these people's anger can come to you and affect you, even if it has nothing to do with you. So a few things you don't want to be watching is, don't watch bad news on TV, because it will invite bad news on your life. I'd like to make more YouTube shorts and videos about that, but those are not the shorts that, well, on YouTube they'll show up. On TikTok they'll be like, well, he's telling people not to watch the news, and they'll just mute the algorithm on that, so I don't really make videos like that. But watching bad news equates to bad news. Watching good news equates to little tiny good news throughout your good day, because every day's a good day, but this video is not telling you that you have to be perfect. It's just getting you ready and getting your mind secure, especially for people who work in customer service, etc. But just visualize. The mind is the only thing that matters in the end of the day when it comes to controlling yourself, because once this is gone, you can cut your arm off, you can cut your leg off, but the second you cut your head off, and don't go trying that, guys, the second the head is gone is the second, like, the body's no longer just completely out of whack. The chakras will be off, everything will be off. So when it comes to anger, find mechanisms to control it. If you have to walk away, walk away. If you get frustrated, ask yourself, okay, should I take a break? Should I stop what I'm doing? Should I stop? How much pressure are you putting on yourself, etc.? So your word plus your voice plus your mind, your thoughts will govern your karma, what comes to you, what blessings don't come to you, how you feel, how you impact the people around you, your day, your next day. So sometimes when you don't lash out or when you don't yell and scream, that might be the most painful thing for you to do, but then it won't affect you for the next month, the next 2 months, the next 3 months, the next 4 months, the next 5 months, a whole year, because people are just, relationships are broken because of this. So that's a hair, okay? I don't know what a hair is doing floating there, but that's not an orb this time, guys. That's a hair. I don't know where the hair came from. I'm not even... It's an angel hair. That's not even my hair. And my hair's long. I don't know. I wish I could just edit that out, but all my videos are raw. But when it comes to anger, guys, and I hope if you're watching this video and you're feeling frustrated or angry, because anger is going to be a major factor in the world coming up, as it is now. A lot of things happen, and like the first worst thing that ever happened. One of the first things that really bad happened, especially in the world, in the Bible, is Cain and Abel. Someone got killed because someone was angry, right? How often does that happen in this day and age? Like, there's because I try to not use too many names or examples and stuff like that, but recently, in a courtroom, someone just miraculously hopped over, which if you can see in that clip, I hope you guys don't really watch the clip, but there's an entity literally helping the person jump over something. I like to be vague, but that's just an example of more of the anger coming out from this day and age. As your Euphrates dries up, as we get closer to end times, different levels of anger is going to be hitting differently. So it's good that you know now to come up with certain mechanisms. It might suck, but being quiet and then keeping the pain and the anger until you get home to work on it. And just realize that everything's going to be okay, and you passed your tests. But if you let it all out and it felt good in the moment, you basically pick and choose a pain. So you let it out now, and you vent your anger, and then most likely whoever you vent your anger to is, or whatever environment, it's going to come back to you in the environment, and it's going to stay with you in the future. Or you do it at home, and you just suck the anger up, and it acts like it's not even there. But like I say, do the shadow work. Don't keep that buried inside of you. I hope this video has helped certain people, because anger is something that the world will be seeing more of in the future, and it's unfortunate because people who are not close to God will be feeling the most anger because the enemy's moving in. I hope you guys understand that. And as we get closer to end times, people will appear angry differently. And this is one of Florida Stone Man's predictions, but for my people of light watching my YouTube channel, keep moving yourself closer to God. Keep asking God to remove things off of you. Some people just have a problem with anger. Some people have a problem with running away. Either one is a problem at the root chakra, but it affects all the chakras. So don't look at it as a one chakra imbalance. Look at it as a term of shadow work and confronting it and just realizing that everything is going to be okay and tomorrow's a new day and your blessings are on the way. Usually when the craziest of stuff happen, guys, it's when the world's biggest blessing is coming to you. If everything has gotten so crazy, it's never been this crazy in your life, and you're just like, but I didn't do anything. What is this? I'm a good person and things are getting crazy. Like, what's happening? I don't understand. It's because it's a compliment. It's a compliment. It means something so big is on its way to you that the enemy has to throw some kind of fit. The enemy has to throw some kind of bite because it's too big. It's like it's gonna change your whole life. So you'll see flashes of anger and just anger around you, anger that you've never felt in you. Just different circumstances will pop up right before your biggest blessing comes. And that's what it means. You're not doing anything wrong. Don't feel guilty. Don't associate it with one chakra. Just turn to God. Ask Him to remove the anger from you. Move closer to Him. And just understand that you're a human and humans are built like that. That's just a part of human nature, unfortunately. But we can work through that, and we're not perfect. But that's not an excuse to run away from our problems. I hope this video has helped you guys. Some of you actually are not very angry people. A lot of you won't actually face anger, but some of you will see people who are angry and be able to apply this video. So I'm glad this video is able to help people. So if you have any questions, ask them in the comment section. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. Ciao!